Professor Akram here, and in this lesson we're going to be looking at game production, the stages and methods of game development. Like many large-scale creative productions, game productions can be one of the most intense collaborative processes one will ever experience. Successful design teams know that it is important that all members of the team contribute to the design. Every member on the team should feel like they have a say in the direction of the project and that their thoughts, ideas, and suggestions will be heard. Some best practices for collaboration include know everyone's name. From the game designer to the individual artists and programmers, everyone should know everyone on the game design team. Brainstorming sessions. During the design phase, all of the members of the team are to attend and participate in the initial brainstorming. Suggestion lists. Create an open list of ideas that may or may not be implemented throughout the development process. Weekly led meeting. Allow team leads to head up the meetings, giving a diverse perspective on the project. One-on-one creative talks. Allocate time to talk to each member of the team about the creative process, giving them a sense of value. Ask for help. Team members should feel open to ask their colleagues for help or advice on any one of the assigned tasks. Share authorship. Allow the use of the term we, not I, when talking about the project. Remember that everyone is a valued part of the project. Just as the role of the game designer is to be an advocate for the player, the game development team should follow a player-centric design approach. Player-centric design builds on the idea of user-centered design, in which all of the design decisions are made to meet the needs of the user or player. However, player-centric design goes further by also ensuring a certain type of player experience in the design and development of the game. When using the player-centric design approach, the key question being asked throughout the development is, what is the player experiencing? Think about how the player will experience a game level, an interaction, a storyline, or whatever else in the game. This can dynamically shift how the game is developed. The player-centric design is an iterative process which requires evaluation throughout the design and development. Can you imagine creating an entire game only afterwards to evaluate its effectiveness? Throughout the iterative process, you will generate ideas, formulate those ideas into a prototype for testing, and then evaluate whether or not to move forward. If there are problems with the design, you start the iterative process again. Otherwise, if there are no problems, you move on into development. Let's say, for example, someone has a new idea to add an ion cannon to the space game your team is building. Once everyone is on board with the idea, a prototype script and graphics for the new weapon is made and implemented into the current test build of the game. Everyone on the team tests out the new system and assesses its usefulness, novelty, and accessibility. If everyone likes the new weapon, it goes further into development and is included in the game. However, if the consensus is that it's not working, then it is eliminated or put on the back burner to come back to after other key features have been developed. The iterative process as it applies to game design is divided into 7 steps. Brainstorming, exploring ideas and or features. Physical prototype, testing feasibility. Presentation. An optional step, however, if funds or buy-in is needed before moving forward, a presentation is made to stakeholders or the team. Software prototype, a rough development in-test build. Design documentation. Once greenlit, documentation on all aspects of the game or features are prepared. Production. This is when production starts. Quality assurance, reevaluation, testing, and refinement occurs. Traditionally, in software development, developers used to work in what is known as waterfall development. This is where the client or user presents their needs and then the development team designs and develops a complete or near complete product before any testing is done by the target market. The waterfall method is often a long drawn-out process that took years to complete and often fell short of expectations. In 2001, the Agile Manifesto for Software Development was created by a group of 17 technologists. The new Agile development approach essentially took the project and broke it into smaller, iterative process. The 3 major techniques in Agile development includes sprints, a set timeline, usually 2 to 4 weeks to reach a certain development. Each sprint has its own iterative process. Scrum meetings are short daily meetings in which the team members share accomplishments, goals, and obstacles. Prioritizing is creating a list of core features or tasks and placing them in order of importance to ensure that key elements of the project are completed first. To help keep everyone up to date with the status of the project, a Scrum board is developed. The board can be physical or digital and is usually divided into columns: task or backlog, a prioritized list of tasks or features; in progress, tasks that are currently in progress and who is responsible for them; testing, features that have been developed and are currently in the testing phase; completed, features or tasks that have been completed. The Scrum board is usually updated during Scrum meetings. In order to meet deadlines, large-scale projects like game development are broken into stages. Each stage has its own set of deliverables to be completed. These stages are usually illustrated in an inverted pyramid, visualizing the scope of the project starting off broad and then narrowing as the project reaches the end of the stages. When thinking of the entire game development project as a single iterative process, you will notice that the steps in the iterative process fall nicely into the stages of game development. The stages and deliverables of the game development process include the concept phase, which the concept documents, project plans, and contracts are developed; the production stage, where prototypes, technical requirements, and design planning documents are developed; the production phase, where features, assets, levels, and alpha builds are all created; the quality assurance phase, where developers work towards gold code, referring to the build of a game with all the bugs having been resolved. Finally, game launch and maintenance, which is continuous updates, patches, and extensions. The most important document in the game development stage is the project plan, as it sets all the expectations and describes the goals, priorities, schedules, and budgets for the project. The project plan is to be completed during the concept stage of the game development and is key to successful Agile development. I hope you found this lesson informative. And don't forget to check out other lessons and tutorials on the channel. So what are you waiting for? Get creative today.